It was 8:17 a.m. on a Tuesday morning when Margaret Clearwater went down like a sack of flour, face first into a petunia planter, still clutching a 36-inch aluminum ruler like it was some kind of sword of justice. Her cries of illegal extension echoed across the entire neighborhood as I, David Patterson, calmly sipped my coffee from a world's okayest neighbor mug and watched the security cam replay in slow motion for the third time that morning. The whole scene was so perfectly ridiculous, I couldn't help but laugh. There was Margaret, dressed in her usual HOA enforcement outfit, khaki pants and a polo shirt embroidered with Community Standards Coordinator, sprawled across my flower bed with dirt in her hair and petunias stuck to her glasses. The caption I later added before uploading the video to social media? Karen gets decked by her own tape measure. I'm David Patterson, 51. A recently divorced high school science teacher turned hammock connoisseur. I moved into Maplewood Heights for its peaceful walking trails and supposedly low-involvement HOA. After 23 years of marriage, ended by my ex-wife finding herself in Costa Rica with her yoga instructor, I deserved some peace and quiet, so I spent my summer extending my backyard deck by exactly 18 inches. Just enough space for a gas grill and a swinging bench where I could grade papers and watch the sunset with a cold beer. I measured everything twice, checked city codes 3 times, even called the planning department to confirm I was within all setback requirements. Everything was perfectly legal, but Margaret Clearwater had other ideas. Margaret, the HOA secretary, was a retired high school drama coach and part-time tape measure vigilante who treated code enforcement like a divine mission. She was the kind of person who alphabetized her spice rack by flavor profile and stored her rulers on a custom pegboard labeled measure twice, enforce forever. She saw my deck from her kitchen window and clutched her pearls and clipboard like I'd just committed an architectural war crime. The next morning, she hand-delivered a violation letter with dramatic flair: unauthorized deck enlargement, visual nuisance, and spatial disruption. Typed in 14-point bold, complete with a hand-drawn diagram of what she believed was my illegal extension. I met her at the door, coffee in hand. Margaret, I measured everything according to city code. I even have the permits and inspection reports. She narrowed her eyes like she was about to deliver a monologue from King Lear. We'll see about that, David Patterson. We'll just see about that. When I didn't immediately tear down my perfectly legal deck, Margaret launched a full campaign of harassment. She started peering over my fence with binoculars labeled HOA Property Monitor. Every morning at 7:30 sharp, she'd sit in her yard with a lawn chair, clipboard, and binoculars, muttering phrases like, "Structural irregularities detected." Anonymous notes started showing up on my porch. "Deck too big, David. Shame on you. Neighborhood integrity compromised." All written in the same purple ink she used for her HOA correspondence. Then came the phone calls, 7 on the dot. "This is Margaret Clearwater from the HOA Compliance Department. Your deck situation requires immediate attention." She formed a deck regulation committee. Membership, Margaret. She even created official letterhead and a rubber stamp. My neighbors, Tom and Sarah, warned me. "She's been measuring everything," Tom whispered. "She measured our mailbox post 3 times yesterday." Then came the deck awareness meetings, held in her living room. Attendance? 3 people. Content? Projected images of my deck with laser pointer commentary and a full PowerPoint titled, "The Patterson Deck Crisis. A Community Under Siege." I thought she'd eventually get bored. I was wrong. One Tuesday afternoon, I got home around 4:30 to find my gate unlatched and footprints across my flower beds. The security camera footage? Gold. Margaret, armed with her full measuring arsenal, ruler, tape, clipboard, even a protractor, entered my backyard like she was conducting a structural raid. I reported her for trespassing. The HOA board was horrified. Turns out she'd done the same to 2 other neighbors. One of them said she used a yoga mat to measure their setback. When she filed an insurance claim for a sprained ankle, injured in the line of HOA duty, the adjuster watched the footage and promptly denied it. Her ankle brace became a neighborhood meme. The HOA issued me a formal apology and sent a fruit basket. Margaret was suspended from inspections pending review. My deck was declared fully compliant. Word spread fast. Neighbors started confessing their own HOA sins. Mrs. Chan admitted her rose trellis was 3 inches over the line. The Williams family revealed their dog run exceeded allowed dimensions. Someone made a meme page, Margaret and order, deck unit. 300 followers in a week. Measuring tape memes. Captions like weapon of mass disruption and ruler of terror. At the next HOA meeting, I gave a presentation, Measured Response, The Ethics of Yard Trespassing. Photos of my crushed flowers. Police report excerpts. And the grand finale. A 5-second loop of Margaret's fall, set to dramatic violin music. The room erupted in laughter. Margaret turned beet red and shouted, "This is character assassination." No one cared. The board voted unanimously. No more unsolicited measuring on private property. Margaret was demoted to newsletter proofreader. No rulers allowed. She had to write an apology and attend conflict resolution training. Also, reimburse me for my damaged flowers. But the real consequences came later. 3 families, including me, filed a civil lawsuit for trespassing, property damage, and harassment. 2 months later, in court, Margaret showed up in her finest courtroom outfit, still convinced she was the hero of this saga. Her lawyer argued she was performing community oversight. But the judge, after watching the security footage twice, was clearly holding back laughter. Judge Patricia Reynolds delivered the verdict. Mrs. Clearwater, your actions constitute clear trespassing and harassment. The evidence shows a pattern of unauthorized entry under the guise of HOA enforcement. Margaret's face went pale. You are hereby ordered to pay $15,000 in damages to the affected homeowners. She stood frozen. Her mouth opened, then closed. Finally, in a whisper, this can't be real. But it was.